everybody. So I figured I would go over the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger Hoppy Pack 6. So I still haven't looked up how often they release these. I've had Pack 4 and Pack 5 and now Pack 6. So in this pack, I'm pretty sure I picked this up for $18.99. In here is the standard Voodoo Ranger IPA. Then you get the Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA, Starship IPA, then Experimental IPA number 6. So I just finished up the review on the experimental number 6. I will link that up here if you want to go check that out. I'm going to go ahead and move this just so I have a little bit more room. But you get these 4 beers and you get 3 of each to make up a 12-pack. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pour these. I'm just going to go over briefly, just in case you haven't had any of these. I'm not going to go into great detail. I have separate reviews out for each one if you want to go check them out. It seems like they do put this Voodoo Ranger IPA in almost every single pack. Hey, I bought this pack just for the experimental. If you have a local beer store and they sell singles, maybe you can find just the experimental there. From my looking, at least here around Michigan, I can never find just the experimental. So I just go ahead and buy the whole thing. And because this is Super Bowl Sunday, I will drink these with friends and get rid of the whole entire thing. Now, I'm going to try and rate, hopefully that doesn't go over, at least so far from what I remember from the other 2 boxes, where I think this one falls. If you're finding Hoppy Pack 4, I probably wouldn't pick it up. I don't remember the dates on the cans, but my guess is they're out of date by now. Could be. So let's go ahead and get into these. So the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger IPA, the standard one, is 7% ABV. This canned on date is best by May 8th, 2022. The Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA comes in at 7.5% ABV. In my mind, 7.5 and above is a double or imperial double IPA. So just keep that in mind. Hazy double IPA is what I would call it. This can for the best by date is May 8th, 2022. Starship IPA is 7.7% ABV, May 1st, 2022. Then the experimental is coming in at 6.6% ABV, and the best by date is May 22nd, 22. So those are what's on the can. Each one is going to be different, obviously, which is good. So if you're not big into IPAs, you can't see that one. I didn't even think about that. Oh well, I'm just going to keep them right there. I want to be able to move them around. I'll push this one over here, and those can stay there. They are all IPAs. Everything in this series has been. I don't know if they will ever put something else in there, but it is the Voodoo Ranger, and I believe they do not make like a stout Voodoo Ranger or a porter Voodoo Ranger or a brown, anything like that. So if we take a look at these, at least for my looking, the Voodoo Ranger just IPA is the clearest. That would be, to me, like your standard IPA, where these other 3 are more hazy IPA, maybe light New England IPAs. Looking at the color from what I have left, I think the Juicy Haze IPA is the best. Yeah, Juicy Haze IPA looks the best, but that's going to be totally up to you. What do you like to see in your beers? For the head retention, I think the Starship has the better head as of now, about half a finger, but all the rest of them have half a finger, but that one looks a little better. From the first pour, the experimental had a finger of head, so I would say, if anything, out of these, If you're looking for a good head, but it's going to dissipate, you could go with that. Let's go ahead and smell them, and then we'll taste them. Yeah, it smells like a standard IPA, not your West Coast IPA, more East Coast, maybe a little fruit, maybe a little citrus in there. Juicy IPA really doesn't have a big smell. And I've done a review on that more than once because, like, the first one I got, I bashed it, gave it a low score, and then tasted it again, and I thought it was a little better. But yeah, really about the same. If anything, the standard has a little bit more malt. I think if anything, the Starship, I get a little sweeter mango from that. More of that tropical fruit than anything in there. And then the experimental, more on the citrus side. That bitterness is there higher up. But yeah, it'll be up to you. I'm not going to say which one you should drink. If it was me, it would be between these middle two are the ones I would pick out of these three. So let's go ahead and taste. Yeah, I think that's more of your standard IPA. You get that sweet malt in there, a little more citrus than tropical fruit. Goes down pretty smooth, a little bit of bitterness in the back. Again, almost like halfway in between West Coast and East Coast, because the bitterness isn't just killing you, but there is a little bit to help balance the beer. Smoother, a little sweeter, more sweeter tropical fruit with a touch of citrus in the back. Again, I want to say I mentioned this before. More watered down. Like you feel like in an IPA, when certain flavors come out, that's what you're going to get. But and isn't this like 7? Yeah, 7.5. It does seem like it attenuated a little too much. The body is lower than it should be, and it's drier. I wouldn't say it's a brute IPA, but it's almost like that body, it attenuated too much, so the body is lighter, there's less sugar, so it's kind of, I don't want to go full brute, but on a scale, if it was big brute, no brute, it's kind of in the middle, maybe pushing towards brute. Starship, kind of a touch of earthiness. I believe, because I did look it up to see when the last time I had it, and I believe it was 2020 or 2020. Yeah, 2020. 7% ABV. It 7.7. It almost feels like there's too much alcohol for the body that you're getting. Too much alcohol, so that kind of ruins it. There's not enough maltiness. There's not enough tropical citrus, bitterness, whatever they want to put in there to help balance it out. So it falls short. And for the experimental, it's okay. The bitterness is there. I don't like earthiness. That's what's in here. So you get the citrus grapefruit in there, but then that in the back, in the aftertaste, you get earthiness. I don't think it mixes very well with the citrus bitterness, but that's just my opinion. So I'm going to go through and get these scores. So experimental IPA number 6, I gave it a 3.75. This could take a second, but oh well. So Starship, it came up right away. My score, my average score out of 2 is 3.75. So that's fine. Let's check hazy. So hazy, 2 of my scores were an average of 3. So I still don't like that one. And the standard Voodoo Ranger, 1 time 4. So would I suggest, where do I rate this box versus 4 and 5? I would put it at the end. I would put it third in line. So as of now, box 4 is the best. Box 5 is middle, then this one is end. Now, box 4 had the 1985 in it, which I think so far, out of all the ones I've tasted, is the best Voodoo Ranger beer. But that's me. That's nobody. If you like something different, then you could rate these. But I think this one falls short on having this one in it and this one in it. I don't think this one's as good. Or I would put Experimental 5 ahead of this one. But yeah, I hope they mix it up. If they're going to keep Voodoo Ranger, the standard one, I believe they're going to keep that in every single one they do, which is okay, but I would like to see them mix it up, maybe add 2 new ones, but I do understand because obviously the Voodoo Ranger IPA has been in everyone. Then this Juicy Haze IPA was also in box 5, so they followed it up exactly with the same 2 that were in the last one. I wish they would just take 1 box off or something like that. So that way you're not getting all the same ones every time. But yeah, overall, I rate this third right now. I'm going to try and remember everything. So when box 7, 8, 9 come out. But yeah, so if you like this review, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to check out some more over here. And always remember, try new craft beer.